Hello, fellow travelers. If you're watching this video, you're probably considering your first cruise vacation, or perhaps you've already booked one and are wondering what exactly you've gotten yourself into. Either way, you've come to the right place. Today I'm sharing all the crucial information that experienced cruisers wish someone had told them before their first sailing. There are so many misconceptions about cruise vacations that can cause unnecessary anxiety for first-timers. Maybe you're worried about feeling trapped on a crowded ship, concerned about motion sickness, or simply overwhelmed by the logistics of a floating resort. These are all completely normal concerns, but I promise that with the right preparation, your first cruise can be surprisingly stress-free and incredibly enjoyable. What makes cruising unique is that it combines transportation, accommodations, dining, and entertainment all in one package. This convenience comes with its own learning curve. Cruise ships have their own terminology, systems, and unwritten rules that can be confusing to newcomers. By the end of this video, you'll have insider knowledge that will help you navigate your first cruise like a seasoned traveler. Let's get started with what you need to know before you even step foot on the ship. Pre-cruise preparation timeline. The key to a smooth first cruise experience begins long before you arrive at the terminal. Ideally, start your preparation about 90 days before sailing. This is when you'll want to verify that your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your cruise date. If your sailing only visits closed-loop destinations, beginning and ending at the same U.S. port, you might be able to travel with just a birth certificate and government ID, but a passport is always the safer option. At 60 days before sailing, research your ports of call and consider which shore excursions interest you. Booking popular excursions in advance through the cruise line ensures you won't miss out, though you'll typically pay a premium compared to independent options. Most cruise lines open their online check-in between 45–60 days before departure. Complete this as soon as it becomes available to secure your preferred embarkation time and provide required information like emergency contacts and passport details. This is also when you'll typically be able to make specialty restaurant reservations and book shows or activities that require advance reservations. Approximately 30 days before sailing, carefully review your cruise line's prohibited items list. Every cruise line has different policies regarding items like irons, extension cords, and even certain beverages. You should also research your ship's dress code. While cruising has become more casual, many ships still have formal or elegant nights that you'll want to pack for. 1 to 2 weeks before your cruise, print multiple copies of your boarding documents, luggage tags, and any shore excursion tickets. Download the cruise line's app if available, as these have become essential tools for navigating modern cruise ships. Many apps now allow you to check in, make reservations, and even track your onboard spending. The day before sailing, check in for your cruise online if you haven't already done so, and double-check your embarkation time. Set up a hold mail request, arrange pet care, and ensure your home is secure for your absence. Charge all your devices fully, and make sure you've downloaded any entertainment or information you might want during the first day when internet access might be limited. Embarkation Day. Step-by-step embarkation day can be overwhelming for first-time cruisers, but understanding the process helps tremendously. If you're flying to your departure port, I strongly recommend arriving at least 1 day early to avoid stress from potential flight delays. On embarkation day, plan to arrive at the terminal during your assigned check-in window. Early morning slots aren't always best. Arriving midday often means shorter lines as the initial rush has subsided. However, follow your cruise line's guidance as policies vary. Before entering the terminal, attach the cruise line's luggage tags to any bags you plan to check. Keep essential items like medications, valuables, swimwear, and a change of clothes in your carry-on, as checked bags may not arrive at your cabin until later in the afternoon. Upon arrival at the terminal, porters will collect your checked luggage. Remember to tip about $2 per bag. Next, you'll proceed through security screening similar to airport security, though typically less stringent. Have your boarding pass and identification ready. After security, you'll check in with cruise staff who will verify your documentation. Take your security photo and provide your cruise card or wearable device that serves as your room key and onboard payment method. Some cruise lines now offer completely digital check-in through their apps, significantly streamlining this process. Once checked in, you'll proceed to the boarding area. Depending on the port and your boarding time, you might wait briefly or board immediately. Priority boarding is typically offered to suite guests and those with high loyalty status. When you board, your first instinct might be to head straight to your cabin, but be aware that cabins are often not ready until 1:30 to 2 o'clock p.m. Instead, use this time to explore the ship or enjoy lunch at the buffet, which is typically already open. Most importantly, locate the mandatory safety drill information in the daily program. Attendance is required by maritime law, so don't miss it. Ship orientation strategies. Modern cruise ships can be massive and initially confusing to navigate. Smart orientation strategies will save you frustration and help you make the most of your vacation from day one. Start by getting a physical map of the ship, typically available at guest services or included in your cabin. Many experienced cruisers take a photo of the map with their phone for easy reference. Study the map to understand the basic layout. Most ships have staterooms on lower and middle decks, with public areas and dining concentrated on higher decks. The ship's app has become an indispensable tool for navigation. Most cruise line apps include interactive maps that show your current location and help you find specific venues. Download the app before boarding and familiarize yourself with its features. On your first afternoon, take an intentional exploration walk to locate crucial areas. Your assigned dining room, the buffet, guest services, medical center, and the nearest stairs and elevators to your cabin. Pay attention to which end of the ship is forward and which is aft. This orientation is used for directions throughout the cruise. A helpful tip that experienced cruisers use is to look for carpet patterns and artwork to help with orientation. On many ships, carpet patterns or colors differ between port and starboard sides, or have subtle directional indicators. Similarly, art themes or numbering systems often change between forward and aft sections. Remember that odd-numbered cabins are typically on one side of the ship and even-numbered on the other. This can help you quickly determine which direction to turn when exiting elevators or stairwells. Don't hesitate to ask crew members for directions. They're accustomed to helping guests find their way and can often suggest shortcuts not obvious on maps. Dining systems explained. Cruise dining can be confusing for first-timers because it operates differently from land-based restaurants. Most ships offer a combination of included dining venues and specialty restaurants that charge additional fees. Traditional cruise dining revolves around the main dining room, where you'll have either assigned seating, same table, server, and dining time each night, or flexible dining, varying times, potentially different tables. If you've chosen assigned dining, you'll have early seating, typically around 6 o'clock p.m., or late seating, around 8:30 p.m. Your preference is usually selected during booking, but can sometimes be changed on board if availability permits. The buffet is another included option, generally open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with extended hours. It offers variety and casual dining without reservations. Contrary to common belief, the quality at cruise buffets can be quite good, though it varies by cruise line. Most ships also have additional complimentary venues like pizza stations, delis, or casual cafes that aren't always heavily promoted but provide great alternatives to the main venues. Specialty restaurants require reservations and additional charges, either as flat cover charges or a la carte pricing. These restaurants typically offer enhanced experiences like steakhouses, Italian trattorias, or Asian fusion concepts. Popular specialty venues often book quickly, so make reservations early if there's a particular restaurant you're eager to try. Something first-timers often don't realize is that you can order multiple appetizers, entrees, or desserts in the main dining room at no extra cost. If you can't decide between two options, ask for both. This extends to breakfast and lunch in the main dining room as well. Room service policies vary widely by cruise line. Some offer completely free room service, others charge per item, and many have a limited complimentary menu with premium options available for an additional fee. A service charge of $3 to $5 is increasingly common even for free room service items. Daily schedule navigation. One of the most distinctive aspects of cruising is how each day is structured, with activities and options changing constantly throughout your vacation. Your cruise line will provide a daily newsletter, often called the Daily or Times, delivered to your cabin each evening, outlining the next day's schedule. Many cruise apps now also show this information digitally. Sea days and port days have very different rhythms. On sea days, the ship comes alive with activities scheduled from morning until late night. These typically include trivia contests, dance classes, cooking demonstrations, art auctions, poolside games, and educational presentations. Most of these activities are included in your fare, though some premium experiences like wine tastings or specialized classes may carry additional fees. On port days, onboard activities are more limited, as the expectation is that most passengers will be exploring ashore. The ship may feel wonderfully uncrowded during port days if you choose to stay on board, making it an excellent time to enjoy amenities like pools and hot tubs without crowds. Evening activities follow a fairly consistent pattern throughout the cruise. After dinner, you'll typically find production shows in the main theater, live music in various lounges, comedy shows, casino gaming, and themed parties or deck events depending on your cruise line. Something first-timers often miss is that popular activities and shows sometimes require reservations, even though they're included in your fare. Check your app or the daily program for reservation requirements, especially for high-demand entertainment on larger ships. Don't feel pressured to do everything. Cruise lines intentionally program multiple simultaneous activities to distribute crowds. Over-planning can lead to exhaustion. Instead, scan the daily schedule and highlight a few must-do activities, leaving room for spontaneity and relaxation. Port day procedures. Port days introduce a whole new set of procedures that can confuse first-time cruisers. When your ship arrives in port, an announcement will confirm when passengers are cleared to disembark. This typically happens 15 to 30 minutes after scheduled arrival, once local authorities have cleared the vessel. There are two main ways ships connect with ports: docking directly at a pier or anchoring offshore and using tender boats. Docked ports allow you to walk directly off the ship, while tender ports require small boats to shuttle passengers to shore. Tender processes can be time-consuming, and priority is typically given to passengers booked on ship-sponsored excursions and those with high loyalty status. For most ports, you can simply walk off the ship when it's cleared, showing your cruise card and photo ID. The cruise line will communicate specific disembarkation times, but these are generally flexible within the ship's scheduled stay except for the final all-aboard time. The all-aboard time, when you must be back on the ship, is typically 30 to 60 minutes before the scheduled departure. This time is not flexible, and ships will leave without passengers who are late returning. Always note this time carefully and set an alarm on your phone as a reminder. When in port, basic safety precautions are essential. Research the destination beforehand to understand any areas to avoid. Always carry a copy of your passport and keep the original in your cabin safe. Bring the cruise line's contact information and port agent details, available at the gangway or in your daily program. Monitor your cell phone usage in foreign ports, as international roaming charges can be substantial. Many passengers switch to airplane mode and rely on local Wi-Fi in cafes or public areas instead. Before leaving the ship, confirm whether you need to bring local currency. While credit cards are widely accepted in many ports, some destinations still operate primarily in cash, particularly for smaller purchases and transportation. Onboard account management and gratuity systems. Understanding how money works on a cruise ship prevents unwelcome surprises at the end of your vacation. Cruise ships operate on a cashless system where virtually all onboard purchases are charged to your shipboard account linked to your cruise card or wearable device. During check-in, you'll provide a credit card to secure this account. Charges accumulate throughout your cruise, and the final amount is processed at the end of your voyage. You can review your current balance through your cabin television, at guest services kiosks, or via the cruise app. Most cruise lines now automatically add daily gratuities to your onboard account, typically ranging from $14 to $20 per person per day, depending on your cabin category. These gratuities are shared among your cabin steward and dining room staff. If you receive exceptional service, additional tips are always appreciated but never required. Specialty restaurant charges, spa treatments, and bar purchases generally have an additional 18 to 20% gratuity automatically added to the listed price. This is often in fine print on menus or service agreements, so be aware that the advertised price isn't the final cost. Some experienced cruisers bring a small amount of cash for tipping porters during embarkation and disembarkation, typically $2 per bag, room service delivery, $2 to $5 per delivery, and exceptional service moments. While not required, cash tips are particularly appreciated by crew members who may not benefit from the automatic gratuity pool. If you prefer to adjust the automatic gratuities, you can usually do so at guest services, though this should be reserved for truly poor service situations rather than as a cost-saving measure. Remember that crew members depend heavily on these gratuities as a significant part of their compensation. Communication options. Staying connected on a cruise ship presents unique challenges that first-time cruisers often don't anticipate. While at sea, your cell phone will either have no service or will connect to expensive satellite networks that can result in shocking roaming charges. To avoid unexpected bills, put your phone in airplane mode before the ship sails and leave it that way except when in port. Most cruise lines now offer internet packages, but be prepared for higher costs and slower speeds than you are accustomed to on land. Packages typically range from basic social media access to premium packages allowing streaming and video calls. These are priced either as daily rates or voyage-long packages, with discounts often available if purchased before boarding. The ship's app has become the primary communication tool for modern cruising. Most cruise line apps now include free onboard messaging to communicate with travel companions even without purchasing an internet package. This feature requires downloading the app before sailing and works when your phone is in airplane mode with ship Wi-Fi enabled. For emergency contact from shore, provide friends and family with the cruise line's emergency contact number. Direct calls to the ship are possible but expensive, typically $7 to $10 per minute. If you must check email or handle work responsibilities during your cruise, plan your connectivity strategy before sailing. Consider scheduling focused internet sessions during port days when local cafes offer faster and less expensive Wi-Fi options than the ship. For families, establishing meeting points and times throughout the day helps everyone stay connected without relying on digital communication. Many families designate their cabin or a specific public area as a regular check-in location at predetermined times. Remember that relaxing your connectivity expectations is part of the cruise experience. Many passengers discover that a digital detox becomes an unexpected highlight of their vacation. Conclusion. As we wrap up this guide for first-time cruisers, remember that the key to an enjoyable maiden voyage is setting realistic expectations. Cruise vacations offer an incredible value with multiple destinations, diverse dining options, and extensive entertainment, all without constant packing and unpacking or arranging transportation between stops. However, cruising does have its own rhythm and quirks. Cabins will be smaller than hotel rooms. You'll need to adjust to scheduled dining times, and following the ship's timeline becomes necessary. Embrace these differences rather than fight them. Give yourself permission to experience a learning curve. Even veteran cruisers remember feeling overwhelmed during their first voyage. By your second or third day on board, the systems and layouts that initially seemed confusing will become second nature. Focus on what matters most to you personally. If you're a foodie, explore different dining venues. If you love entertainment, prioritize shows and performances. If relaxation is your goal, find those quiet ship spaces early. There's no right way to cruise. The best cruise is the one that matches your preferences. Don't hesitate to ask questions throughout your cruise. Both crew members and experienced passengers are generally happy to help first-timers navigate any confusion. Finally, consider keeping notes about what worked well and what you'd do differently next time. Most first-time cruisers become repeat cruisers, and your experiences on this initial voyage will help you customize future cruises to better match your travel style. If you found this guide helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more cruise tips and destination guides. Drop your questions about first-time cruising in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Happy sailing, and welcome to the wonderful world of cruise vacations.